What is going on, everyone? Another video. Thought I'd sit down and kind of talk about training a little bit. Got a cup of coffee early in the morning and just kind of getting my day started, and I thought about making this video. I used to make these all the time and kind of want to get back into them now that indoor track is coming around, just to kind of give you an insight to what my training looks like. And I think it's a cool way to kind of view what I'm doing on top of the results I'm getting, because I'll be posting race videos starting this weekend. This weekend we're racing Saturday at Penn State. I'm running the 3K, and it should be a really good race. That's where we opened up last year. I ran 8:32 last year after being injured all of cross-country season with a sacral stress fracture. But yeah, excited to kind of see where I'm at this year opening up. I have no idea what to expect. But honestly, that's kind of fun. Kind of enjoy that. So we'll see what happens. But enough rambling on. Talking about this week of training this past week. I'll probably post this today, which is Monday. But yeah, so last Monday, January 2nd, I did 6 times 1200 with 130 rest. I also posted that as a video if you want to watch that. Typically working out Monday, Thursday right now, 2 days in between. When races end up being on Friday, probably going to work out Monday, Wednesday. Yeah, gonna be trying to upload a lot more workout videos, so if you are interested in all of that, go check those out. But 6 times 1200, the goal was to start around a little above 5K pace and slowly work down to kind of 5K goal pace. So started out at 336 and then did 334, 324, 24, 24, 24. So started out, what is 36? 72s, 24, yeah, 36, yeah. So started out around 72s, 15 flat pace, and then worked down to 68s, which is kind of what I think is going to be goal 5K pace this indoor season, 14:10-ish. So I was pretty happy with that, and it was the first time I worked out with the guys in a bit, so it was really nice to kind of get back with all of them and get on the indoor track, have some music playing. The atmosphere was really good there. And then the next day, I did 12 miles on the roads. It was a good run, 6:36 pace. My easy runs have been a little bit faster as of kind of the break, just because not a whole lot's happening. Workouts aren't really intense yet. They're getting a lot more intense. I think last week was the first week I really jumped on the track. But as we slowly get into indoor season and the workouts get a little bit more intense and we start racing, these easy runs are going to slow down a lot. But 12 miles, 6:36 pace. Average heart rate was 149. It was raining that day. I do remember that now. It was quite gross out. And then the next day, I doubled, so this would be Wednesday. I ran 11 miles in the morning on the treadmill. Ran on the treadmill just to kind of keep myself slow. I really don't mind the treadmill that much. I know a lot of people despise it, but I find it quite enjoyable. I usually just put up my phone and watch YouTube videos, so I find that fun. But did 11 miles at 7:03 pace. And then in the afternoon, I did 6 miles with Jack. And within the 6 miles, we did 8 times 45 seconds on, 115 off. And throwing in those little pickups, usually a day before our workout, is something we do. So 17 miles on the day. That run, 6 miles, 6:39 pace. Average heart rate, 145. Yeah, you'll see a lot of those pickups in my training. Typically 8 by 45 seconds, 115 off. 16 total minutes, but just kind of getting the legs moving the day before a workout. And then the next day was a pretty rough day, actually. So the workout was 6 times, 600 on, 300 off, 300 on, 600 off. And kind of the goal was to start out, kind of slow and then slowly kind of work down to 5K-ish pace. And I ended up doing this on the roads, which definitely made it a bit harder, but I wanted to give my back and hips a break from the indoor track and constantly turning. So ended up doing it on the roads, half of it on soft surface, towpath surface. And yeah, looking back on it, it went a little bit better than I thought it was going in the moment. I kind of get in that groove of like, this isn't going to plan, so I automatically in my head, I'm like, oh, this is terrible. But looking back on it, it really wasn't that bad. If I remember correctly, I started out around 450-ish pace for the first two sets, and then I slowed down a little bit the third set, and then the last three were around 455, 450 pace still. And honestly, on the road, I feel like that's a pretty solid workout. So I was happy with it. Nonetheless, just got in some harder running, even if the paces weren't that crazy, the effort was there. So I was happy with it. Looking back on it, I was happy with it. In the moment, I was like, oh, that was kind of annoying. But 12 miles, 6:01 pace. And I'll throw up the splits on that one as well, just so you can kind of see the mile reps there. Yeah, mile 5, I was 5:17. That's with jogging included. And then I slowly worked down to like 5:51 and then worked my way back up. So yeah, died a little bit in the middle, but nonetheless, still a solid workout. And then the next day, I just did an hour on the treadmill, 7:30 pace on the treadmill once again, just to keep myself slow. And after kind of the rough workout the day before, I was like, I really just need to prioritize running slow and short. So an hour is pretty short for me, 8 miles. So just jogged for an hour on the treadmill, watched YouTube, and then called it a day there. Lots of stretching, rolling out, recovery type stuff. And then the next day I did long run. I'll throw up the portion where my watch was alive. My watch did end up dying. It was fine because I was running with earbuds this day too, and my earbuds died as well. So towards the end I was, totally just wandering around. But 17 miles, 6:19 pace. Average heart rate was 154. Really, really enjoyable run. Long runs, I think I titled this run Best Day of the Week, yeah. Long run's very, very enjoyable for me, so I was really happy with this run. I'll throw up the splits to this as well. Pretty consistent, typically for long run. If there's nothing in it, usually sometimes we'll do some minute pickup or certain types of pickups and stuff like that, and or up-tempo miles. But for this one, just go out there and run. So typically I just find a pace that feels pretty comfortable for me and just slowly, trot along. And I never look at my watch, and it's always pretty consistent. So if it feels good to me, and that's probably just the pace I'm going to cruise at. It is typically a bit faster than an easier pace, just because 18 miles, I don't want to be on my feet that long. If I was to run 7:30 pace, I'd be out there for over 2 hours. So typically that is a bit quicker of a pace for me. But yeah, I did 18 and a half. I don't know if I said that. 17 was the portion my watch was alive, but overall total 18 and a half on the day, which I was happy with. Probably came out to right around 2 hours. So that was nice. And then the next day I did 10 and a half miles, 6:51 pace. Another easy run on mostly soft surface to kind of just recover a bit from the big effort I put in the day before. But overall, that is the whole week there. 90 miles on the week on one double. I typically like to double twice just to make it a little bit easier on myself and make that Sunday a really short, easy run. But I doubled once for the second week in a row. Last week I ran 90 on one double as well. But overall, training's been really good. The 2 weeks before those two 90-mile weeks, I did 85 and 80. So mileage is slowly working its way up. I'm excited to cut back a little bit. Going to be dropping down to 75 this week with a race. So yeah, races are coming in now, which is kind of crazy to think about. Indoor tracks already here. But we're gonna, cut back a little bit, race, and then right back up to 90 for a week, and then cut back down, race again, and kind of repeat that process over and over again throughout indoor season. Going to be running a bit more mileage than I did last season, and doing some longer aerobic strength workouts just to get ready for the 10K and outdoor. It's going to be a big one. I'm not sure where I'm going yet, but I'm excited for that as well. So a lot of great stuff to look forward to, but staying in the moment, making sure I'm healthy, run at a time, work out by a time. But yeah, that is basically it for this one. Hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all in the next one.